You're listening to Jump on the Bat-Wagon, hosted by the Watchtower Database. Visit WDB on YouTube for video essays, timelines, fan theories, and much more from the DC animated universe. And now, please enjoy the show.
As you both know, I watched Starship Troopers at work today. And it is wild that they have not sued the makers of Helldivers.
I mean, it really is the same thing.
Like, it is the same thing. Like, a lot of the bugs look the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing.
Yes, absolutely.
The start of the movie with the
Wildly
like
the same
propaganda
thing.
shit
It's
was
the
like,
same
oh,
thing.
that's his Helldivers. Yeah.
But like, also, it's Terminator 2. Also, it's like War of the Worlds and like a couple other miscellaneous things.
It's not
like,
as direct of a ripoff, though.
Oh, the rocket launcher, that's the Commando, is a direct rip from the movie Commando. Starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like, there's so many things that are just, that is that exact thing. And
weren't they calling some of the bugs like predator bugs or something because they can turn invisible? Was that
there's a predator strain that bugs that turn invisible? Yeah,
also an Arnold Schwarzenegger
It's
movie.
still like also too good of a movie.
I
think they wrote it, and then like budget wise, they were like, "Yeah, this is straight to like VHS." And then you watch it, and it's like, we should keep doing this.
And you know what's cool about Starship Troopers is it has both Clancy Brown and Michael Ironside in it, stars of Superman, the animated series, which everyone is here to listen to us talk about today. What?
Another person that I did not realize was in it.
Neil Patrick Harris, who's in Justice League. We haven't gotten there yet.
What?
What?
The guy that plays Hank Schrader in Breaking Bad.
Oh, yeah.
He is also in that movie.
He's
and I
not
did
in the DCAU, I don't think.
He's not?
What's his name?
Kind of surprised.
Hank Schrader?
His name is Dean Norris. I knew that.
He's got to be in.
Dean Norris, DC Comics. Dean Norris was on Capitol Hill. I don't care.
He has been to Washington, D.C. He would. No, that Reddit thing on the top right, he probably would be good.
A good Lex Luthor?
Yeah. Because wasn't Bryan Cranston being tossed around as that?
It hasn't been officially cast in any DC role. Interesting. Well, we need to change that, I guess. Contact Dean Norris's agent, Stat, Brian, and your room full of sounds.
Okay. Do you want me to contact Dean Norris's agent?
Yeah. Find the info right now and say, why aren't you in the 1990s Batman cartoons so we can talk about you?
If you want to book him, you got to call Sharon Elkabas. Her contact number, I do not want to say online.
Well, people can very easily Google this now. Yeah.
Do you want me to just call?
No, we're not doing this at all. Greetings, welcome to episode 169 of Jump on the Bat-Wagon. Joe's here for it. I didn't time it on purpose. I'm James. That's Joe. That's Brian. The end. I'm here to show my good buddy Brian, and Joe is also here, the entire DC animated universe from start to finish for the very first time, and spoil Neil Patrick Harris's inclusion in Justice League for him.
You piece of shit.
He's not a recurring role. He's just
spoilers, James.
Sorry about that. In the controversial Airdate order.
He could have been Batman. Imagine NPH is Batman.
Kevin Conroy, yeah. So he may view these shows the way human beings experience them.
I am the Knight.
Yeah. I am, wait for it, vengeance. The far gone days of the 1900s. Today we're watching the Superman the Animated Series episode, The Demon Reborn. After some help, I had to listen to the episode, like the end of it, because I haven't edited it yet and put it out yet at the time of this recording, which
6:43 p.m.
Thank you. But you correctly guessed this was Ra's al Ghul, and then you were very confused how it could be Ra's al Ghul in a Superman episode. But Joe's here because he's here for every Ra's al Ghul episode except that one where his son is old and they talk about the Old West and Jonah Hex and shit like that. You weren't here for that. I don't remember why. Something was going on.
Yeah.
Do you remember that, Brian? You remember that episode? Showdown?
What's the DCAU?
What's the DC Go? Is that HBO Go's new name? HBO Max? Because I'm going to just start calling it HBO Max now because that's what it is now. And
I told you never to stop.
I know, you're right.
I told you not to.
You suggested not starting to say Max instead. It is so warm in this room. I really wish it wasn't. Yeah. I'm going to at least turn off this tiny light I open a window and get sounds from the outer world.
Jamie, it's not going to be as bad as it's going to sound on your headphones.
Well, maybe I'll do that after the intro because I don't want to get up and do that right now.
Joe, don't you want him to get up? Don't you want him
at some point I will.
To get up and open the window?
Sweltering in here.
Mm-hmm. Joe's
open the window.
We're not going to right now.
I got the window open.
I know.
It is currently August 10th in New Orleans in here.
At the time of this recording,
August 10th in New Orleans.
Superman the Animated Series is streaming on HBO Max and available on DVD and Blu-ray. Dog. And if you'd like to follow along, you can head over to Dog. Link is in the show notes. Watchtowerdatabase.com/resources, Joe. It's a cool place. You want to take a look at it real quick?
Yeah. Open up those tabs. Not that tab.
Sorry.
Open up
AladdinPorn.org.
What?
Resources.
Open on there.
Yeah,
Smash or pass?
Which one?
Aladdin.
Which one would you rather browse?
Oh, let's go with the Airdate watch order.
Oh, cool. All right.
James.
It's a virus. What?
James, Aladdin, smash or pass?
I think smash.
Jasmine, smash or pass?
Smash.
The genie.
Oh, fuck. Does he have holes? What's the next thing
you
I
can
say?
wish for them.
That's very true. Rest
Joe,
in
what
peace,
the fuck?
Robin Williams. This first aired Saturday, September 18th, 1999 at 8 a.m. on Kids WB. Nearly
Smash.
4 months after our last episode, Ascension. Smash on Kids WB, please don't. That's what they tried to do with Unity.
Ew.
It's aired number 52 and produced number 49 right after In Brightest Day. Oh, sorry, right before In Brightest Day.
Can we just commit to this being an adult episode because it's episode 169?
Hell yeah, I think we are.
Fuck yeah, okay.
What else is there to do even? This is what we do on the show. Is we smash. We're constantly having sex on the show, actually, every episode.
Brian, Rachel Ghul, smash or pass?
Smash. Joe, Rachel Ghul, smash or pass?
Smash.
Yeah.
There's no delay. Detective, put it in me. I wish for holes, he says.
Wait, listener, this is what you get for listening to episode 169.
Yeah,
this is
what
your
did you
fault.
think? Yeah. With Joe, it
entire
says
reason
feet.
I'm here.
It says feet Joe Scott in the title of this episode.
But it's weird that it's spelled F-E-E-T.
I know. I was just going to say I should make it that.
It's funny that you say that because I did bring them with me.
I'm looking at
Wait,
them now.
prove it. Prove it. Prove it online. Prove it online. Take a picture.
Flexibility.
Take a picture. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it. Prove it.
Don't lean back and
Oh my
fall down.
God.
Those are in shoes, though, so it wasn't as cool.
They're in my to-go packaging right now.
Yeah. HOTTOGO, Joe's feet are warm.
Open the window already.
This is the final Superman the Animated Series episode before the 2-part series finale.
Wow.
So we only got 2 more after this.
Is it 2 more or are we watching it as 1?
It'll be 2. It's split between a Batman Beyond episode because fucking Airdate order. Yeah. The writer is Rich Fogel. The director is Dan Reba. The music is Michael McQuistion. And the animation, thank God, it's Coco Dong Yang. It's not Group Tech, whatever the fuck anymore.
Fake Coco Dong Yang. It's Coco Dong Yang.
Thank Dong, it's Coco. Buy us a coffee. Head over to the link in the description to send us a Yoppie beverage and support the show. We'll give you a shout out in an upcoming episode, and we'll also plug your shit. We'll also do a push-up for every $1, so send us coffee for our health and your entertainment. I forgot we had to do push-ups in the warm. That'll
You could have opened a window.
We're not going to. Please be sure to take a look at our membership levels to send us Yoppie Bevs on a monthly basis and gain access to some pretty shway exclusives, such as submitting episodes for us to revisit, and joining us for virtual hangouts watching movies from our lengthy watch list.
Has that happened since?
It is live and it has been. And Dylan became a Dylan and submitted episode titles. So if you want to compete with Dylan's submission, which you should, so we're not only watching Dylan Pollock's picks every time.
So if you don't want us to watch only the things that Dylan Pollock suggested, become a Dylan Pollock level member, and then you too, Dylan can
Pollock,
submit Dylan Pollock suggestions so we can compete Pollock against Pollock.
And
Is
also
that cool?
Dylan suggests Jaws because James hasn't seen it.
Well, I think that's on the list for us to watch.
It is on our list
to watch. So yeah, where in the world did we leave off? We did the Banana Baby. We did Justin.
What if we bug Dylan to do a movies to watch before you die about Jaws?
And have me on for it?
Yeah, what if we do it? What if we do a tag team?
It's just Joe, actually.
Just Joe.
Yeah.
Love it.
I don't get to watch the movie. Did we do one from Vitz that was wild card, draw 4 cards and lose your turn? I'm now changing the color to red. Did we do that one? I don't think we did that one.
I don't know.
So
you got to keep
that's
track
the
of
one
the
we're
shit.
doing.
I don't have
I know,
the
but it's
paperwork in front of me.
been a while. Okay.
Been a while.
So I think that's the one we're doing. Thanks, Vitz. It's 5 Yoppie Bevs is 25 push-ups. At this moment,
It's
here
not
we
like
go.
I drove like 5 hours today. I'm fine with this.
Joe and I are going to have to kiss to do push-ups.
Yeah, but we have to do twice as many if we kiss each time.
That's
One.
true.
That's the
Two.
Brian's starting. Oh,
3.
Jesus. 1,
4,
2,
5,
3,
6,
4,
7,
5,
8,
6,
9,
7,
10,
8,
11,
9,
12,
10,
13,
11,
14,
12,
15, 16,
13,
17,
14,
18, 19,
16,
20,
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22,
25, that's 20.
23, 24, 25.
Thank you, Vitz. We love you, buddy.
I hate you.
No, you don't, Jamie.
Uncomfortable.
Did you guys kiss?
No.
No.
Aww.
It worked all day. Push-ups.
Joe needs a shower before he kisses.
Joe needs to open a window. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, I will.
Okay. Let's go watch the episode. If everyone's still listening to this podcast at this point, thank you.
Episode 169.
No, I mean this episode exactly because
It's so much hotter if you stand up.
is it?
Yeah.
Heat rises.
Heat
the
rises,
fire rises.
It does. Oh, what the fuck is up with your window?
Do it. Pull up. He's really
You
doing.
see, listener, Joe is leaning over.
It's
trying to
already
open
like
the window, and
so much
James's
better.
windows apparently suck. Joe, open the
It is
second window.
It's way better now.
Open the second window too.
It's back there.
Yeah, but
And
open the
it's
second
blocked by
window.
a
It'd
bunch
be
of
even
shit.
better.
James
It's
already
gonna
has
blow your
to
No.
fucking
open on his
mind.
computer.
No, Superman. Go.
Wake up, dog. The master will see you now. I'm sorry we must meet under such circumstances.
You're not exactly what I pictured.
I'm not the man I was.
Father, you should rest.
Old age, Superman. It truly is a shipwreck. One that I have survived more times than I can remember. For centuries, I've kept myself alive by immersing my body in Lazarus pits. Their wondrous powers rejuvenated me. But each time, the effects were more and more short-lived. Now they can no longer sustain me.
He's dying.
What do you want from me?
Your strength.
Welcome back to the podcast here, everybody. We got Joe. Tell us what happened. we got Joe, but we let him go. He was too small. We got the. Tell us what happened in the episode after I play this song.
Sing up.
All right. So what happened?
Why did you do that?
If you're wondering, sing up, what you just watched. Sing up, take a listen to the synopsis. The short summary, which is sometimes kind of long.
Look, I'm wondering what I just watched, and if only anyone could tell me what it is, it's Joe who can do it.
Okay. They start off at this like art show.
Yes. Well,
and
yeah.
Well, kind of like art gallery, kind of like unveiling of
museum artifacts.
Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. I'm a little tired. I'm sorry. I've been up since 4.
Joe, ew.
Yeah. And then there's a break-in by multiple Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And Superman goes to stop it. And then there's a train run away. Superman need to stop train, but who show up to help stop train? Batman.
Batman in car
Batman
on tracks.
Batman in car on tracks, driving, not being all that helpful, honestly.
He swerved in front of the train.
He swerved in front of the train without signaling and diverted the train while Superman was just crushing railroad ties like no one's business. Batman's like, do you know who these guys are? Superman's like, nah, dog. I've literally never seen Spider-Man before. And then he pulls this little like tracker thing off of this guy's ankle. And Batman's all like, I've been tracking them for a while. They work for Ra's al Ghul and I'm trying to track him. He's a mastermind bad guy. And then Superman's like, you know, it'd be cool if you like told me you were coming. Like maybe we could have like helped each other. And Batman's like, I've never heard this word.
Batman, let's have a talk about effective communication, Batman.
Yeah. So then Lois, quote unquote, gets dangled from a building. And then they're like, oh my God, Lois. And Superman goes to catch her from falling down. And it's not Lois. It is Talia. I remembered her name.
Yeah.
And
with a different voice now.
Yes. And different hair. And
different model sheet.
He's like, oh, I got you, Lois. And she's like, I'm not Lois. I'm Talia. My dad wants to meet you in person.
Touch my staff.
Yeah. And yeah. So Superman goes to meet Ra's al Ghul, who rolls in. And,
he just goes there. He doesn't get kidnapped or anything.
He doesn't get kidnapped. Yeah,
he does go to meet him, though.
He does.
Okay.
And Ra's al Ghul gets wheeled in a wheelchair looking like David Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China.
That's what you were looking at.
And then he rolls in and he's like, Jack Burton. And then he's talking about how weak he is and how the Baja Blast pools have not been working as well. They've not been effective as long.
Rip.
And he fails to mention that he needs a woman with green eyes to retain all of his life back, just like in the movie.
Okay. Yeah, I was like, what? Did Talia have green eyes? I don't remember.
No. So Superman's all locked up by a hex nut around his neck, decides that he still has laser vision, breaks loose. Batman shows up. There's some wrestling, essentially, that goes on. And Ra's dies, quote unquote, according to Ubu.
Yeah.
And Ubu's apparently like some sort of field trained CPR. Like, I know how to check for a pulse.
However,
carries him.
Talia's got some Narcan.
Well, yeah. Well, no. Talia doesn't use this. Talia doesn't use the staff on Ray. She uses the staff of arthritis. The staff of arthritis on Superman, sucking his powers out into Ra's al Ghul. He turns into.
To be clear, we made this joke during the episode. Was he's the staff of arthritis as his hand got closed and turned all bony. Yeah.
Then Ra's gets all jacked and gets told to use Roid Rage, goes around throwing Batman around because Batman stands no chance against Roid Rage.
He's ragdolling Batman, yeah.
Like, it's pathetic. And then Superman just kind of watches for a little bit because is this punishment for Batman not telling him that he was working in the city. Superman kind of ultimately saves them. Talia's fallen off of a cliff. Superman's like, maybe you should choose the staff me or save your daughter. Superman
staff me or staff your daughter. Your choice.
Superman crushes the staff into dust, which is like an ancient artifact, which is hilarious.
That poor man that owns the museum at the start, just like, what the fuck, man?
He probably could have just held on to it, honestly, and it would have been fine. But Ra's obviously goes for his daughter. They fall down a cliff into some water. Superman flies him and Batman out of there, looks at this wall of rocks and goes, I see an underground river, but no them. And then Batman's like, goes to get in his car, and Superman's like, hey, it'd be cool if we work together sometime. And Batman's like, and then leaves.
No.
Canon.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
I don't think so.
I mean, there's some details we'll talk about that I missed.
Lots of Spider-Mans.
Yeah, there were.
So many Spider-Man.
We were talking about plot holes with something else, but it reminded me that, or I realized just now when you're describing that, how for some reason I remembered, Superman destroys the staff, which sets off a chain reaction that blows up the place. But then when we watched it just now, the staff had already been removed from its crystal holster and was no longer connected to this stuff. The stuff had just been bataranged and was going to explode anyway. So Superman destroyed the staff for no reason. He really could have. He would just did it to piss off Rachel Ghul, and just he said, "I'm only going to ask once. Where's Rachel Ghul?" And we both said I was about to say it's pronounced Rachel, but yeah, you broke the thing for no reason. Because he could have just waited or tossed it aside, like you're saying, yeah. And then
Your,
Brian, you had the plot whole thing too with Lois Lane's
Oh
clothes.
yeah. In the closet.
Yeah.
That
I
we
needed
had-
her clothes, so I had to wait till she was there.
We had Talia hanging out in Lois Lane's closet, like, I'm going to drug you and kidnap you. And she drugs her. And then we find out what actually happened, and she just stole a skirt and a jacket from her.
I
So
guess.
why the fuck was she like hiding in the closet? Like, I'm going to steal these clothes right here. Yes, these clothes I can see. I'm going to steal them just as soon as Lois Lane gets
So I
home.
can steal.
I have to wait till she's here. I guess it maybe because she needed to count on Lois Lane not being somewhere else that Superman knew about. Like Superman could see Lois Lane on TV, but also be right next to Lois Lane and be like, "Why is she there?"
I see what you're saying, but that you realize that's a stretch.
But I want it to be stupid, though. Stop explaining it.
I feel like this episode, I'm glad I was here for this because
Let me tell you the official synopsis, Joe, real quick.
Okay.
It's one sentence. It's Batman comes to the rescue of Superman as Ra's al Ghul, known as the Demon, attempts to steal Superman's powers. Okay, continue.
that's accurate and also inaccurate.
Yeah. Also,
they rescue each
He
other.
noticed the demon.
He's not called that in this episode at all, so I don't know.
Yeah. Did they even ever say that?
In like his first appearance or something, they're like, it means the demon's head or something.
Oh.
Is his name. Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot to unpack from this episode. I feel like it's the first episode where I haven't been worried about like, oh, what am I going to talk about? This one, I'm like, oh shit,
There's
am
a
I going to
lot
remember
happening.
everything?
Yeah.
Like,
It's so rapid fire.
Yeah, the Ra's al Ghul Batman episodes were like pretty slow, and they were just, we'll go to this place and look at a thing, and then we'll go to this place and look at a thing, and then we'll steal the thing, and then we fight the end. But this had like a whole bit where Batman shows up to aircraft, like what are those called? Like heliport
Carrier?
or
Like a
whatever.
hangar?
Yeah, hangar.
Oh, yeah.
I know words. And he like
me
fights
too.
15 Spider-Men and blows up the place, and like there was just a lot of shit going on.
is this the
in
first Marvel DC crossover?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, can we talk about why the fuck this is exactly Spider-Man's character design, but only in black?
They were. I'm pretty sure they looked like that in Avatar. No, what was it? It was some episode of Batman where they looked like that, and I forgot that they looked like. I thought that this was the only episode where those like ninja minions, because they have like goggles, like I don't know, big goggles and green belts, and they have like
But
pouches all
the
over them.
eyes
and
are
stuff.
just
But, yeah, this time
exactly
they were just
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Depending on how you look at it too, the like little vehicles that they're riding around are either the Green Goblin like hovercraft things,
Yeah.
or they're the ghosts from Halo.
Oh yeah,
They kinda look like that
they
also.
look like those like Avengers, the Chitauri, the alien bad guys that are flying around a little. They're all Marvel stuff, is what we're saying.
Yeah. How many Spider-Man does it take to beat Batman?
At least 15.
Yeah.
Yeah, so isn't he supposed to be stronger in the black suit? But Batman's still just kicking his ass. Brian, you pointed out something that's one of my favorite takeaways from this episode. I don't remember which scary movie it is. It's either 4 or 5 where they have like it's the Signs one. Is that 4? Joe, do you
I
remember?
don't remember.
Where there's my favorite bit from that movie is when who's the 2.5 Men main guy? Charlie Sheen. He's talking to like a policewoman, and every time it cuts back to her, the brim of her hat is slightly wider, and he's like keeps looking at it like what, and it'll just always be growing every shot, like her hat gets larger. The same thing happens with Batman's ears in this episode. Is every time we cut back to him, his ears are longer, and you were like, are his ears always that long? And it's just, nope.
Those are the things that make me so proud. Like when I guessed, when I correctly remembered Ubu's name, I was like, ooh, I could be okay at this.
So I feel like that leads to like, should we just cover some animation stuff in general? There's definitely some
Terrible animation is what you're about to say, right?
It was inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest issue, is the consistency of it. Because you had times like when Ra's al Ghul was
I'm sorry,
raging.
who?
Rachel
Ghul.
Oh, yeah.
Geff
sorry.
Al Ghul, I believe is.
Was roid raging. The shape of his eyes changed like every frame. Like it started out like they were squares, and then they turned into like hexagons and then octagons, and then they went back down to pentagons.
Which neck was around?
I was counting sides.
Superman's neck. What did you call it?
Oh, the hex nut.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a hex nut. That's exactly what it was. But there were things like that. But then also there was like one specific detail that I noticed at least, it's when Rachel falls forward out of the wheelchair, you see like drool come out of his mouth. And I was like, oh, that's like a surprisingly detailed thing.
Yeah. There was a couple of things like that, like Batman running toward the ancient Mesopotamia place. His cape was like billowing really cool. And like, I think you're right about the inconsistencies. There were a handful of shots that were like, so usually I feel like I can tell, oh, after this commercial break, we switched to Coco. And then after this commercial break, it's Dong Yang and then back and forth. But this one seemed to have like shots from both of them intertwined as if they like retook a bunch of shots from this episode, which I guess wouldn't surprise me if the animation was already kind of whatever, that they needed to like, oh, that one was particularly bad, do it again. There was a shot where Ubu stood up and went like, ah, right before Batman kicks him. That looked especially good. And then the next, I think you said like, what did he even hit? The background painting? Because he just like slammed into nothing.
That was Talia. She hit the background painting. It was like, oh, and like fell forward. Like, what did you hit? Nothing.
There was also the professor in the beginning. There was a front shot of him, which was very like, okay, that's what you're drawing. That's fine. And then they go to like a side profile almost, and the shape of his face is completely different.
Like they always have to over exaggerate like some sort of weird, like
it was a caricature drawing for sure.
Yeah. The Native American guy was like, his head was all blocky and stuff. I was like, you can just draw a guy. Like you don't have to. It is.
He also doesn't need to have that
cartoons.
accent.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he was from Pocahontas. Like 100%.
It was too much with that guy.
There was a frame of, I think, Talia on the ground, like on her knees, and they were like looking down at her, and her eye was in one, and her eye was in one spot. Then they looked away and came back, and her eye was like further down her face, and then they like cut away and came back, and then it was backward.
Dead, and she goes, "Oh no, yeah,
yeah." Like her eye was like down at her chin almost. I'm like, what happened?
What did you think of
My
this
face
episode,
is
Brian?
melting.
I feel like I always want to be there to champion Dan Reba episodes. Because they're usually pretty good. This one, not pulling any punches here, it was so inconsistent. It felt like a clip show. It was like fast and then had unnecessary shit, and then it was like, I don't know, man.
I appreciated like the follow up to certain things, like Batman and Superman. You know, we haven't seen them together for a while. They have like a kind of punch each other relationship, like they'll like fuck with each other. They'll fuck each other.
Yeah.
Like Batman shows up and says like, snide comment, and then
Superman
like,
kisses
what
him.
the fuck? Yeah, and Superman kisses and they make out.
Yeah.
And then also they're catching up with Lois Lane in her apartment. Oh, Bruce, I thought you would call. Nope, I'm gay. Goodbye. All this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I appreciate those things where there's continuity there, and you know, it feels like a thing that they would, if those two characters interacted again, this is how it would be. But then,
yeah, I do appreciate those details.
I feel like this is like one of the first episodes, if not the first, that I've not really had any issues with the plot. Like, I feel like this one was paced a lot better.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more that could have been done, but given the time frame.
Well, I think the last episode you watched was the Mr. McYespitlick Bizarro episode, where the whole episode was just Superman fighting Bizarro in the background while Mr. McYespitlick floats around.
Yes.
And then this one, actually, things happened. So, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like, I didn't feel like any point in this I was going like, okay, what are we doing here? Aside from like normal, like, you're Superman, dude. You have handcuffs on. Who gives a shit? Take them off.
Yeah, that was a weird, like, he must have sapped his powers, so that's why he can't fly. You said, why didn't you just fly out of there?
Yeah.
And I was like, because he stole his powers. But then he heat visions, he breaks out of the chains, he like punches guys.
Totally fine.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he could fly, I guess. Yeah. I was
just decided he was bored.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough of this.
Yeah, he could have. Yeah.
I also I don't understand, I guess, background wise. Maybe there's more that I don't know, but why don't Batman and Superman get along better?
They've met like once or twice at this point, and
do they not have common ground? Like,
yeah, Batman's just an asshole. I don't know.
Is he actually an asshole, or is it just like a competition thing? Because
it kind of was the first time they met. Yeah, you weren't there.
No, he's very like, I'm an only child. Yeah. Like, I can't share crime with you.
Batman's a pretty damaged motherfucker, I guess.
Batman, you share the crime with your brother.
Yeah. Let him have the train track. You had the train track last week.
He's not even like trying. Superman's not even trying to take credit for everything. He's just like, hey, can I just help?
Yeah.
Like you can be the lead. That's
Hey,
cool.
so,
Just
like-
I feel like I can help.
I don't know who this is. He sounds sort of foreboding. Do you need any assistance? No, get out of
Yeah.
my face.
Clearly you haven't caught him yet.
Yeah, I've been trailing them for weeks and I've done nothing.
I have like no weaknesses. Do you want me to grab him for you real quick? Like I won't even kill him. I'll bring him back alive. I'll just like bring him here.
That's the Scott Evil. I have a gun in my room.
Yeah.
I have guns in my eyes.
We'll do this right now.
I like the look. I have no weaknesses. Well, except for wait, what? You know what? Actually, don't worry about it. It's not going to come up. There's just this one staff. Don't even bother. It's fine. It's fine.
Just a staff. Yeah.
I've just got like arthritis in my left hand, and if anyone shines blue light on it, it's like it's not lights
He's
out
got
for
a
me.
glove made of black light materials. When you shine the staff on it, damn it! They can see my hand, my old man hand. He's like he dipped it in the Hercules like dead people water. Is what happened to his hand.
Is that just the river Styx?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Sure, yeah.
It's the Hercules dead people water.
Okay.
is what it
But
is.
Jamie, what about you, man? What did you think about this?
It's not nearly as good of a like Superman Batman team up as World's Finest.
No, is it the worst?
I mean, we had Superman dress up as Batman, and we had
Yep.
Supergirl come to Gotham City. I don't think we've had any other ones so far. I don't think it's. I mean, I guess if you're between the two main ones, then yes, it's the worst of the two. Gotcha.
But what about
Made you
what
say
about
it.
the four? Not even Batman and Superman, but the crossovers.
That's hard to say. They're very different because like Girls' Night Out is hard to put up against this and World's Finest. I guess like it's different. It's different characters.
Fair.
But I don't know. I don't dislike this episode. I think it's got a lot of fun action and it's Batman Superman team up, which is always nice. And I wish that we got to see like normal Rachel Ghul ever in this episode. We see him for like one shot. I'm coming out the pits, rawr. And as he's describing how the pits make him good. But there was not any like, I don't know. There's not a Rachel Ghul New Batman Adventures / Superman the Animated Series character design because he's only either old dying man or big behemoth man.
Yeah.
So, and that's always just bothered me is like, oh, we don't know what Rachel Ghul really would look like in this art style or whatever. So,
Okay.
I
Well,
hear
then,
he looks pretty good for his age.
yeah.
yeah, I guess so.
Functionally, though,
Yeah.
he gets Superman's strength,
Mhm.
but he doesn't get Superman's strength because once Superman recovers, he's got his strength back.
It must not be like a balance thing. It just, you take it and now you also have it, I guess.
Talia used Lear, and he was like, his defenses came down for a second.
Oh, it attacked itself. He
Yeah.
said.
He's out for a turn.
I didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I do see the animation weirdness mostly in Batman's ears,
But it was also
certain
just-
shots being bad. But
It just seemed, I don't know, to me it seemed like the writing, the acting, and the art all seemed rushed. And I can't,
okay,
I'm so
probably
sorry.
just a one-parter.
I can't give it
kinda
a
deal.
like a better explanation that other than it gave me this emotional impact of like what is going on here. Like I got so excited when we saw the Batmobile, and then by the end I was just like,
And you can't even like a Superman episode if Batman's in it.
no, what the fuck? I don't want to be that guy, man.
Another animation issue that I had was like at the end when Rachel and Talia are falling down into the river
Yeah.
and the cave is like shaking.
Yeah.
They're blurry as shit.
Yeah,
There was
it
a
really hard to
lot
see
of
what was
blur.
happening.
There was a lot
That
of blur. in
specific
this
one was
episode.
ridiculous. But when they
Yeah.
come back up and Ubu's there and the place is still shaking, he's completely in focus and like, oh,
Yeah. Mhm.
there's an earthquake going on.
Yeah, he's just like, he's
So-
pretending he's doing a Star Trek bridge
Yeah.
motion.
What
Yeah.
caused the earthquake?
That's
Superman
what I was
breaking
just
the
about
rock?
to say. Yeah,
Yeah,
don't
it had to
know.
have been.
Well, I guess so, but it didn't have it. It was never shown to have like, I don't know, supernatural abilities past suck the life out of Superman, give him the suck. It just a lot of the stuff with Rachel Ghul episodes are give him the suck. I've noticed, but
When he used his laser vision and cut down, like that was a structural stalactite.
yeah,
Was it a stalactite or a
yes,
stalagmite?
you had it right. You had it
Okay,
right.
yeah.
Tights on top.
Look at this guy. Yeah, that was a structural one, so the whole cave started falling apart.
Tights on top, mites on bottom.
Ooh. That's a good way to remember that.
Mites on bottom.
Mites on
I
bottom.
don't really know what happened there, because Batman, first of all, when Batman shows up, he goes, ow, a bright light. And then it's not so bright now. I can look, even though Talia and Ubu are wearing like futuristic green goggles.
Yeah, they're wearing
reason.
like laser protection
Vipers.
goggles.
Yeah.
They were pit vipers.
Yeah. But then Batman batterings the handle that they pulled, but it just like lodges in the like machine. It doesn't like hit the handle. It doesn't hit a button. It just next to the thing.
But it
and then
somehow
it goes,
is off. That,
Yeah,
but
and
that's
they- oh,
on
no.
par. That's on par with Talia pulling out what was a 5 to 6 foot staff out of her
Yeah.
jacket and then became a 3 foot
out of her bra or
3 foot
something.
staff.
Yeah, it was very strange. Yeah, the entire. I've never noticed that before. That she pulls the entire like staff that's like the same height as her out of her Lois Lane clothes.
Yeah.
Where did he put that?
But then it becomes shorter. It becomes shorter at that point.
oh, all right.
Canonically, before this, did she have a side gig as like a clown at kids' birthday parties?
Yeah, she
Like,
pulls out of her
just
throat.
pulling like endless ribbons out of her sleeves.
Well, she pulled like a remote control out of her ass or at the start
She
of the
did.
episode. So
Yeah.
I guess she has all sorts of pockets. You know what I mean?
What's in her butt?
Let's talk about the cast of this episode. We got Tim Daly as Superman / Clark Kent.
Hold on, time out right there. Has that always been that way?
What?
Has he always been the voice actor?
Yes.
Okay. For
Why?
some reason, I feel
He
like the
seemed
voice
different.
seemed different.
No.
Especially
I agree.
Like,
For
I don't know
real,
what it
for
is.
real.
I'm granted, I have not seen a lot of this. I would go as far as to say most. But for some reason, I felt like his voice was just almost like childish in a way. Like it seemed younger.
Maybe because
In a way,
he
I
was
don't know.
next to Batman.
I think
No,
they
it was
sped
even
it up.
before that. Like it just felt like this doesn't feel. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a.
Does it feel normal to you,
Good.
Jamie?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I didn't notice it, but it reminded me that he did have that moment at the start when he first changes into Superman where he just like in the middle of a room walks behind a stack of suitcases and he's already like whooped into Superman before he goes behind those and then
Yeah.
he comes back out again and they're like someone saw him. Like there's no
Yes.
way.
I feel like his voice in this one was like what time in of the year did this come out?
This was September of '99. What's the significance?
Well, during the summer, guys have that thing where they're not as close to the body because it's warmer. And it felt like his voice was higher. So
That's yeah.
I don't know. That's what I feel like is like his voice was like higher in this for some reason. I don't know.
Well, the production schedule is all over the place, so
Yeah.
maybe it was January.
I do wonder. I do wonder where Tim Daly's balls were when they recorded this.
169.
I wonder if that was maybe part of the deal was that Coco Dong Yang's been doing so many Batman Beyond episodes, and then they had to draw a normal Batman, and then they're like, "Make it. His ears are this long, right? We know what to do," and didn't even think about it. I don't know.
I didn't notice that. Did they continually get longer throughout the
I
episode,
think
or was it
so.
like a frame thing?
No, it was like it went.
By the end, they
I
were
think it was like
very
per
long.
scene, but it was yeah.
Do
They
we
went-
think like it was like, oh shit, I need to add this like frame in and like, oops, I accidentally drew them wrong? Or is this like a perspective issue?
They
Like,
drew one ear and then they drew the second ear slightly too long. I was, oh, better make the first ear longer. Oh shit, now it's too long. Better make the second ear. Oh no, shit, now it's they just. Oh, finally they're perfect.
This sounds to me like we're segueing into trivs.
Oh yeah, maybe it's not. Kevin Conroy as Batman, not Bruce Wayne, because he was not Bruce Wayne in this. For some reason, they made the actually did it right this time.
Even though Lois did say Bruce.
Oh my god! Yeah. Even though we saw his innards, his Bruce innards when Superman X-ray visioned him, Superman should have said, "Batman, it looks like you have like a heart condition forming."
Oh my god!
Dana Delaney as Lois Lane, David Warner as Rachel Ghul, Olivia Hussey as Talia. What a last name. This is misspelled in the credits as Talia with an extra I. Talia was previously voiced by Helen Slater in BTAS, who played Supergirl in the 1984 Supergirl movie. Olivia Hussey was bit parts in various Star Wars video games. She played Audra Denbrough in the Tim Curry It from 1990, who was the wife of Bill when he's grown up. I've never seen this,
What?
but there you go.
Watch that.
Yeah. Juliet in the 1968 Romeo and Juliet movie was her other main thing.
I knew that name sounded familiar.
Yeah.
I
She
know
died
that.
last
Yeah.
December. I was going to say with the Romeo and Juliet movie, it was infamous that the director forced her to be topless in a scene when she was only 15 years
Yeah,
old.
because that came up in the news recently.
What the fuck?
It was a cool thing about that. Yeah. Anyway, we got Michael Horse as Ubu. His name is Michael Horse. He was previously Sky Sentry operator in Ghost in the Machine. Ubu was previously voiced by Manu Topo Gijo in The Demon's Quest and George DiCenzo in Avatar. So he's had a different voice every time we've seen him.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred. He had a little cameo. So the thing is jet fuel. Okay, goodbye. What a nice
Jet
nice
fuel,
little Alfred
but for
reappearance.
like rich people's private jets, jet fuel, not normal jet
Yeah.
fuel.
As you suspected.
That hangar would have been gone.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
And the whole mountain that it was sitting in. It was a big explosion.
Yeah.
But not enough,
But
not
it's
small
just
enough
enough
to
to
walk
blow out
away
the
from.
sides.
That
Yeah.
guy survived inside the building somehow. Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's true. It was Peter Parker. Where's Rachel? He said.
Yeah. We got to have a Spider-Man count, by the way. I really want to know the numbers in this episode.
Number of Spider-Men in this episode. Linola Cola count for us. Joe, you laughed when Batman took out his evidence picker-upper machine.
Oh my God.
Little like claw grabby thing. He couldn't just pick it up.
Why?
He had to like take out like a little taser bat-shaped thing.
Not only did he have to take out something to pick it up, they weren't even like any sort of forceps. They were not pliers. They had to be a machine.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah, it had to be a little gadget of some kind. Yeah. This is Batman. I don't know. Townsend Coleman as Thug Leader, I guess, lead Spider-Man.
Thug Leader?
Thug Leader. Previously Chick in It's Never Too Late, programmer in Steel and McGorry's, co-pilot in Livewire, captain in The Promethean, additional voices in Sub-Zero, Death Fist Ninja in Obsession, Muggsy in Double Talk, which you were here for. That's the ventriloquist episode. And Rocco in Rocco's Old Wounds. Jeff Glenn Bennett as Guard.
And Beth
Guard.
Glenn Jennett.
Oh, probably on the
as,
train, I guess.
Yes. Officer.
Ben Glennett. And he's Johnny Bravo. Previously Office Boy in The Clock King, Computer in Blind as a Bat, Hardak in his Heart of Steel and His Silicon Soul, Laughing Biker Thug in Mask of the Phantasm, Young Doctor in The Way of All Flesh, Dad in Love is a Crock, The Creeper parenthesis Jack Ryder close parenthesis in The New Batman Adventures, and 2D Man in Heroes. And then last we have John Rubino as news anchor. Previously, Guard in Bizarro's World, gang member in Groma Pinus, Houston Control in Brightest Day, and Lexi number 1 in A Fish Story.
Did you say that Jeff Glenn
169.
Bennett was the voice of Johnny Bravo?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Because like when he got tossed around and he was trying to call for help, which also that
He said, "Whoa, mama."
he didn't go, "Oh, mama," or like anything like that.
He said as he was fighting the Spider-Man.
The professor also just
"Man, I'm pretty."
heard on the professor didn't have an earpiece in. He just has this radio in the like lapel of his
Oh, yeah.
so that
jacket.
Lois and Superman
And-
could hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, help! There's too many of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, my breast is talking. And just pulls a radio out from inside of his
I need
blazer.
to take this real quick.
Yeah.
Sounds important, maybe. Yeah. I have minimal trivs, but I'll read them for you.
Minimal
the distance between the hole in the railroad and the train
Oh.
changes between shots. Yeah, the distance between the hole in Talia and
Whoa.
as does the hole's size. It's episode 169.
Okay.
Yeah, I noticed that when Talia is like flying away, like "Good luck, bitch," and Superman's holding the train, and it shows the hole is like
Relaxing.
yeah. Damn it. It shows maybe like 10 pieces of wood away, and then Superman has all this time to, oh my God, stopping the train. Here comes a Batmobile. Push the thing, and swerve in front of the train. Like all this
Meanwhile,
stuff,
you're just seeing Superman be pushed through railroad ties. It's like tick, 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 tick,
Yeah.
tick, tick.
Well,
He's really
what's
not
also
doing
funny
much
about
at
that
all.
is like there is that cement barricade at the end, which is
Yeah.
made for
Stopping the train.
stopping the
Yeah.
train, which is ultimately what stops the train.
yeah.
Like Superman
is
didn't
just-
do anything
yeah.
except for maybe slightly
Superman
cushion
cushioned the blow. Yeah.
Yeah, and he broke a lot of the train track.
Yeah.
Which they also have to fix.
Miles of train track.
There's a trib that says when Talia makes her offer to Superman, she pulls the shaman staff from under her clothes. However, the staff is too large to be stored inside a pocket.
Oh, is it?
Seems impossible.
Unless
When
you're
Lo-
a circus clown.
like Talia in a past life. When Lois recovers in her apartment from Talia's knockout gas and starts swinging her arms, Batman pushes her against the nightstand. Once she calms down, however, and the camera cuts to a wide shot from the ceiling of the room, Lois and Batman are suddenly crouched quite a distance from the nightstand.
I didn't catch that.
I was too busy paying attention to Lois making noises as Batman held her. What were you saying, Joe?
I was saying she was also making noises when she pulled the staff out. She was going.
No, that's Talia. The inclusion of Ra's al Ghul and TAS was foreshadowed in the previous crossover episode, Nighttime, when Robin told Superman about an old man, Ghul something. This was like, he's like, oh, where's everybody else? Oh, Nightwing and Batgirl are looking for a guy that might have taken Bruce. Ghul something, he said.
Is there a timeline relation there?
No, it's just Superman now knows who that is kind of slightly, I guess.
Oh my God.
From the hangar fight with the assassins and onward for the rest of the episode, Batman's cowl ears become noticeably longer. The theme for the new Batman-Superman adventures is briefly heard during the final shot of the episode as the two heroes go their separate ways. This was the alternate intro I played before World's Finest at the live show that I've never shown you since and is never attached to any episode for some reason.
But they played it now.
Yeah, they played it in the last 2 seconds of the episode.
Wow.
Last I have is the explosion of the bomb that Talia detonates from afar. It features a full screen frame of a fire explosion, which is reused footage from Where There's Smoke when Volcano blasts Superman with a fireball in the parking lot.
Why not?
There it is.
Let it
Is
ride.
there a DC Middle Earth map that shows how far apart Gotham and Metropolis are?
Yes and no, because it varies depending on which DC property you're...
How far are we talking roughly?
Well, Batman has to take a plane there in World's Finest, Bruce Wayne,
so
in a different episode.
So is Metropolis an island? Or is it just a different country?
No,
I think it's Florida to New York.
Okay.
That's what I've been doing in my head.
If you see Metropolis from the sky, I think in the Promethean or something like that, and it's where Maryland is in real life.
Maryland Monroe.
Yes, Maryland Manson. Keen effects.
Wow. Keen.
Were there any keen things in this besides stuff that we already kind of said, like Batman's cape and that one shot of Ubu screaming? The drool.
The drool was good. The drool was good.
I don't know, man.
I mean, the explosion was good enough to reuse.
If it doesn't
was,
catch you though, then it's not a keen effect. It's just an effect.
I guess I liked the staff juice.
Do we need to do a minute of good like we did before?
Oh yeah, we do need. That is a thing we do now, isn't it?
Joe, just jump in. James is gonna say when we stop.
Yeah, we do a minute of things we liked in the episode, okay? And you have to be really positive. Go. Batman is so fucking cool, man.
Dude, it's just really great to have them together. It ups the Superman episode to some extent.
The whole pace of the episode was good.
There you go.
It was
Pacing is
exciting.
great.
None of it was boring. I didn't get
bored at all.
There was no what is going on right now?
Batman. Did Batman save the day, even though he got knocked out at the end?
Yeah,
that's
of course he did.
Thing.
He saved Superman. Superman would have been sucked dry if not for
crushed.
Batman. That's awesome.
He got sucked dry. Yeah. Quick, Joe. Say a good thing. Nice.
They
running out of time.
They saved the train.
Oh yeah, all those people. Whatever was on that.
There's a lack of death.
Yeah.
There was almost.
We have 20 more seconds.
There was almost some First Nation. What's the word I'm looking for?
First world problems?
No, First Nation peoples.
What?
Jamie, what are you saying? Native Americans.
No.
Why
did it take you that long? And the time's up.
Well, just hold on. I need to get this word out. Representation. There's almost some representation here, but not really.
Yeah.
So it started with something good, and then we ran out of time, and now it's bad.
I hope I have to say
what a
bad
transition.
Thing now.
Out of context, though, Jamie. Do you not know the It's becoming more of a faux pas to say Native American because it's America wasn't here when they were here. You can say Native, but First Nation.
I've always felt that was a weird way to describe it.
Yeah, so First Nation's becoming the more PC because it's they were the first in this nation.
I learned something on this podcast every time we do it. Joe,
I'm trying to work on that one too.
Your opinion?
That's the first I've heard of that.
In. Yeah, me too. Yeah. But Brian's plugged in.
That's true.
I'm plugged into what?
Zeitgeist.
I thought you were going to say Ra's al Ghul's fucking oxygen tank.
Rachel Ghoul's
I'm more plugged into what Ubu needs to do to get Rachel back to life.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, you were as
We
he's
should
like
have
placing
Joe-
him on the rock.
We should have a
Yeah, can you
Joe's
give medical-
paramedic thoughts segment.
Yeah.
Did anything apply here?
If the body's still warm, can you resuscitate the body?
Yes.
Even if their heart is stopped and shit?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
All right.
That is one of the criteria that we go by is, are they still like, is their core still warm?
What the fuck?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Ubu really did have a field training.
Yeah. He has like he like took ACLS at some point, but it was years ago. So he's like pieces of it are still there. No CPR.
No.
Should have done that immediately.
You need the
Critical.
staff.
We call that a critical
Just as
fail.
the staff.
Yeah.
They open up. Rachel Ghul has a note that says, "Do not resuscitate." On his body. It's like tattooed onto him.
And signed by his doctor. Yeah.
Whoa. Joe, is there any other like first responder knowledge you want to toss on us other than just like fucking do CPR and go get CPR certified before you do CPR?
For that. Yeah. You should do that. Everyone should do that. It's not hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
Mine expired like a couple months ago.
Ubu's like, we have to do the pumps to staying alive. That's that's the rhythm. That's the tempo.
Back in the 90s, they wouldn't have had it, but now we have machines that do it, which are very convenient.
And then Batman throws a battering in him and fucks it
Batman's got to have a tool for it.
all up. I was trying not to. Yeah, he takes out his little claw nipple pinchy thing. I was trying not to say this during the minute of positivity, but I was thinking the whole episode that, like Superman's pretty useless in this. Like he is just being like
manhandled.
He gets sapped. He gets captured. He gets thrown around. Rachel Ghul throws a rock at the big rock that he's tied to, and then Superman just goes, "Oh!"
That was the funniest part of the episode.
It was a legitimately like comedic shot of Superman falling over. Yeah.
Well, it's like
a
you
Monty
think,
Python.
You think Superman's like strapped up, and you think he's going to get squashed by Rachel throwing this big rock. And instead it clips the side and Superman just like comically, like there's that like comic beat, like pause, and then his whole thing falls backwards. God, that was beautiful.
Like Superman's so useless in the Superman show and Batman's doing everything. But as soon as Batman gets knocked out and is just on the ground for 5 minutes, Superman, like I felt like that was something that was lacking in the writing, was like, why is this a Superman episode? He's really not doing anything. He's there to be a power, like a battery for like that's his entire purpose. And then he carries Batman out and saves him. And like that was, so if he wasn't there, Batman would have died. That now he's useful or whatever. We need Superman's usefulness, I guess.
He's just a Rachel battery.
That's the subtitle, I think. And we got Jordan Blumen's Musical Minute.
Ooh.
Hey, music.
Have you heard that one yet, Joe? I don't remember. Demon Reborn, here it is.
Now over to the musical minute from the road on the way to our honeymoon.
Oh, shit.
Because I forgot to do these before now.
Happy wedding.
So the Batman theme. The Batman theme shows up. Batman shows up and then the Batman theme shows up. And that's
true.
cool. It's badass. They love the use of a leitmotif. I really like the weird bell kit sound that happens when Talia first picks up the staff. Just a little bit of mysticism to it. Also like the overly dramatic musical stings going on when Talia is pretending to be Lois hanging from the clock tower. It's kind of deliberately over the top. I thought that was fun. I liked it with Ra's al Ghul appearing, that we kind of bring back that Indiana Jones-ish music that pops up pretty much whenever he does. And it's really good at feeling ancient. I don't know if there's anything about this particular type of music that just inherently feels ancient for some reason that's too advanced for me to explain, or if it's just that it sounds like Indiana Jones, and Indiana Jones is about ancient stuff, and my subconscious is making the connection. But either way, it works, and it effectively evokes the idea of this ancient thing, or in this case, this ancient person who's somewhat supernatural. And I also really liked that at the very end, when they're talking about maybe we should team up again sometime, that the music kind of transforms into the opening of the Batman Superman like episode block.
There it is.
Just thought that was cool. Never apologize for loving your fandom and try to stay optimistic.
Thanks, Jordan. Thanks for doing that from the road for me like a champ. I appreciate you.
On the way to his honeymoon?
I know. Well, he said he told me he had an 8-hour drive. And guys, I was like, don't do these on your honeymoon. Like, please, like we'll skip them. We'll come back to them. We'll record them separately some other time. And he's like, I've got an 8-hour car ride. We're changing drivers. I'm just going to sit and watch some Superman. I'm like, okay, that's fine. If you must. The Batman theme I didn't think got too in the way. I was a little worried, much because every time Superman does something, it and then Batman showed up and it was just like, oh yeah, Batman. Like it was more subtle than I like expected it to be in a good way. I think the Indiana Jones thing, I was just watching a video of it was just called "Is Aladdin Racist?" and then the thumbnail was just says yes on the thumbnail. And it was like it was a good breakdown of like all the different like that the whole movie is just like what a white guy thinks is happening over there kind of a thing. Like there's
it's Disney.
It's all
no
sorts
one
of
is surprised.
Yeah. It's a combination of like 10 different cultures, and he talked about the music in that a little bit of just like this is what like Americans think that the music sounds like, you know, there should sound like in this. And I do think Indiana Jones probably perpetuated that, like, or started that maybe of like, we use this Phrygian scale or whatever the fuck it is. And
I mean, it's stereotyping, right?
Yeah.
But when you hear it, it puts you there, doesn't it?
I guess so. It's unfortunate that it does, but
you know, like when you hear boom, 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 boom.
Yeah. You know it's time for Ra's al Ghul.
Like you know where you are right now.
In Agrabah, of course. In the whatever city that was they went to.
Us white guys know where we are when we hear that music.
Yeah. But I don't know. I liked the music in this pretty good.
I'm not privy enough to have caught the theme sneaking in there, and it wasn't, I guess, really like I was too focused on other things, I guess, that were going on.
Yeah, I mean, it was good that
a lot of animation stuff was catching my eye more than usual this time.
I mean, I love the music in all of these, but I don't like it when the music sticks out so much that I'm distracted by it. I guess, like I kind of prefer. I like the occasional Superman, but not every time he picks up a rock.
Yeah.
You know, but
it's a total package thing. You don't want any pieces of it sticking out.
Yeah. You want the general effect score to be high.
You don't want the color guard to stick out.
That's so true. Brian knows what we're talking about. Superman's powers in this. I know we can add the weakness of sucky staff.
Arthritis.
The staff of arthritis. That's what it was. Thank you.
The sucky staff.
The staff of arthritis, or is it just ritis? It's just arthritis. It's how it sounds.
Yeah. The sucky staff thing is funny though because of the movie I watched earlier when the giant bug. They're like
Starship Troopers.
Yeah. Starship Troopers are like, it sucks your brains out.
Oh,
and
yeah.
My partner was like, yeah, I bet it does.
The Demon Reborn. Okay. We didn't make the Matt Damon joke that you made at the start. It showed the Demon Reborn. You said, what did
Matt Damon.
Yeah, Matt Damon. It was very dumb, but I liked it. How strong was Superman 1 through 10 in this?
Oh my God, dude. 1?
2, 1.
Yeah. I was going to say 3. It's low.
I'll give him 1.3 boogers Batman picks up off the floor with a gadget out of 10.
I'm going to give him 1.1 old men in a wheelchair who are going to die and then become roid raged within a 5-minute window.
What a very specific thing.
Thank
out
you.
Of 10.
Out of 10.
Joe?
2 arthritis knuckles.
2 Hercules Deathwater hands.
Are you saying 1, 2 or like 1, 2?
Yeah, which direction are we?
Dealer's choice.
Okay.
Horizontal
sick.
or vertical knuckles.
Yeah. Pick 2 knuckles.
Which one
solid.
of your knuckles hurts the most? It's that one.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one?
At this, we're gonna test them out real quick.
Hold on, let me go get my staff.
I carry mine with me at all times.
Yeah, pull it out of my breast pocket.
We got Batman's usefulness in this episode because we had Batman.
What did Batman do? Did he get a 10 or only a 2? I really gotta know. Tell me now, what is Batman's usefulness? Out now.
Starring Joe.
That
on
sounds
the drums.
really familiar.
It's like you've listened to that a bunch. Yeah,
Think about you every time we hear that, buddy.
we do. Yeah. Batman did pretty dang good until he got knocked out at the end, but he blew up a whole hangar, it's called. And
You mean aircraft carrier?
Beat like 15 Spider-Mans and drove in front of a train and didn't die. Yeah, he did good. He looked at those guys' pizza. I like that little detail at this. And when they find the hideout of the ninja guys, there's like an open pizza box with like a piece left and some cheese or whatever grease on it. And I was like, the ninjas are really like ordering Domino's like at their secret base. Come to the library on 42nd, the abandoned library. Come in here.
They were also like going through like 19 different things of what those tracks could have been left by. They were like, is this a bicycle? They're like, no, this is an RC car. What if it was two unicycles side by side?
What if it was a car, but it was doing a wheelie? So the front wheels are up in the air and it's just the back wheels peeling out.
And they have really skinny wheels.
Well, this one's a road bike tire and this one's a mountain tire.
No,
what
you
if
don't
it's
know.
two
Superman.
bald mountain bike tires?
Talia was in the circus for a while. She was a clown once. So it is the two unicycles.
It is the two unicycles. Okay.
Track.
Look, there's a gap between the tracks. I bet you he got some sick air.
Actually, what if it's one of those circus bicycles that you can like fold in half and it can go kind of sideways?
What's the
big tricycle?
Yeah, we just had this in trivia.
What are they called? I forgot.
And Coral knew immediately.
Yeah. You know what we're talking about.
The big, tall, hop tricycles.
With the big front wheel and the two tiny back wheels.
Ancient bike.
Oh, it's not a... Okay, it's called a penny farthing.
Yes.
And there's usually only two wheels. There's not two wheels in the back. There's just one small in the back.
It's called a big wheel, actually.
It's called a penny farthing. And my friend has the Guinness Book World Record for doing most like bunny hops on one wheel on a penny farthing.
Of course.
That is...
Specific?
Was it the guy in Viriality on the unicycle?
He's the guy in Mirror Mask who plays Pingo the Clown.
All right.
I know that.
That's interesting.
That's my buddy
Brian
Nick.
knows
Nick Robson King. Look him up.
Cool, man.
Shout out.
Yeah. Well, Batman gets a
What's the
7.
I'd have to look it up.
Batman hopped 7 times on a penny farthing.
Yeah.
I'll give him a 7 ears.
7-inch ears.
Yeah, 7-inch ears each out of 10.
Okay, I'll meet you and I'll give it just a little bump more. I'll say 7.3
ears.
Racial stereotypes
and Joe
in an
says
episode.
a slightly higher number ears.
Okay, ears.
Rachel stereotypes, is that what you said?
Yes.
Are we sticking to ears?
No, you don't have to.
Okay. I'm going to stick with 7.
Thank you.
Hex nuts around Superman's neck.
They had like an Ant-Man machine that embiggened things.
They
just put it around him. Yeah.
The most continuous front wheel hops on a bicycle is 404, made by Nicholas Robson King in Dorking, UK.
Hell yeah.
For this attempt, Nicholas made the unusual decision to use a penny farthing bicycle.
We got connections here at Jump on the Bat-Wagon.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
That's
Nick's a legend.
Too many.
It's a couple more than I can do.
That's at least one more.
402. Never made it past that.
That's at least as long as Batman's ears. Where's Clayface in this episode? Is he the stalactite that Superman burned off the ceiling?
He's the backing for holding Superman in his whatever pose.
I thought you were going to say he's the background that whoever slammed into.
That's what I was about to say, actually.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that one. That's so much better. Yeah, I love it.
I'm good with that. We got the Balderarchy. We got all sorts of segments in this goddamn episode.
I know, we got too many people.
He's bald, I'm bald, we're all bald. But who's the baddest bald of all? It's James and Brian's final call. The Balderarchy.
I guess it's old Rachel Ghul. He was
old
bald.
Rachel.
Or Ubu.
Ubu's bald.
Ubu's bald.
Is Ubu
Which
bald?
one was worst? Yeah.
What?
Ubu's more bald.
What do you mean? What? Ubu's bald as hell. He's
Okay.
Ra's al Ghul is the more normally bad than him, but he didn't really. I guess until he was big, he couldn't do anything.
Okay, let's give it to Ubu, even though he's not that bad. He's just.
He has a chance this time. Have we ever given it? Oh no, we couldn't have given it to Ubu before because he's not been in a Superman episode. So the Demon Reborn.
There you go. Oh, I love this.
Ra's al Ghul also had one chance to get into the Balderarchy and he missed it.
Oh fuck!
That's okay. We're nearing the end here. We've only got 2 more Balderarchy editions before Superman's over.
Wow.
And then we have to figure out a winner of the Balderarchy. It'll be interesting. Mm-hmm. We got Thoughts of the Week with Dylan Pollock.
Coming up next, it's another guest appearance from our favorite visiting superhero.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
Like I told Joe about this in the car like a week ago. Here it is.
It's time to tell us the week from Dylan Pollock on The Demon Reborn. Or doesn't this title make you think Etrigan is coming back? James, any knowledge on why Helen Slater didn't come back as Talia al Ghul and we have somebody else now? Wow. It's nice of Batman to show up to help Superman, but I imagine it's much more comforting for Batman when Superman shows up than it is for Superman when Batman shows up. Also, Batman describes Ra's or Raish or whatever you want to call him as more dangerous than Luthor and the Joker put together. I don't know about that, homie. Although he did get his own little world's finest, didn't he? Did anyone else find it funny that when they were tracking the League of Shadows, they left behind a pizza box? I just can't picture the League of Shadows being like, I want to get Little Caesars. Also, Lois gets knocked out when she comes home, but how long was Talia al Ghul just chilling in her closet to do that?
3 hours.
Also, what stopped Superman from breaking out way before Mesa de Oro? He ripped an enemy in half in the last episode we watched. Just laser these motherfuckers and be out of here. Also, I like the big Randy Macho Man Savage version of Ra's al Ghul. Oh yeah, Batman, I got you for 3 minutes. Also, it had a moment that reminded me of Megamind when he's like, time for some witty back and forth. Because I feel like Ross Rage just screams at some points. Anyway, I'm not going to scream, but it's the question of the week. James' favorite part.
Thank you.
Would you rather steal Superman's strength or Bruce Wayne's money? Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
Bruce Wayne's money.
Yeah, of course.
Which one would you rather have?
Yeah.
Steal,
Yeah,
I think is what
give me the money.
Yeah.
The Macho Man Randy Savage thing was great.
Yeah,
I love that.
Dylan. God damn it.
They got the pizza box.
to the top. Yeah.
It's just that video of all the times of him breathing in. They're like, it like makes you so uncomfortable. Have you ever seen that, Brian? If not, you should watch it and feel uncomfortable.
Maybe I have.
Yeah. Was this episode
Books or hip hop?
I think it was books to me.
I'm going to say hip hop.
Explain why. Okay.
I side with Brian.
Okay.
Yeah, you should.
All right.
Yeah.
And we got the Superman top 10. Is this beating any other episode out? It goes on Joe's list automatically.
Oh, it's number one for me.
Of any of them that we've seen?
Well,
that you've seen?
Are we separating the two?
No, you just have a list. You have the Demon's Quest Part 1 at 3, the Demon's Quest Part 2 at 4.
All these
Avatar
demons.
Go at 5. Mixius Pixelated at 27, Little Big Head Man at 32, and Double Tuck at 50 what?
Hit me with number 2.
Okay. You think there'll be one that'll be better? Probably.
I have to leave space.
Oh, okay. And then you'll go like negative numbers.
This was good. I was happy with this.
Yeah, okay. Brian, is it beating Father's Day? Or Two's a Crowd, which was
not being Two's a Crowd.
For not, yeah.
For your guys' lists are
different.
They are, but they're also like not.
Mm-hmm. We have a lot of the same episodes in different spots.
Yeah, your top 3s are
the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with good reason.
I don't think. Fuck.
I don't think. Well,
fuck. It's hard to say. I don't know because my number 10 is New Kids in Town, which is the Legion of Superheroes following Brainiac back in time to high school Clark Kent in that fight. I can't decide if I liked that worse or better than this one. The rest are all better to me. God, man. What are you doing?
What are you doing, God?
Are you putting it on the list at all, Brian?
No, I'm not.
About Father's Day? No? Okay. I think I'll leave mine alone too. It's not a bad episode, but it's getting difficult now. Luckily, there have been at least 10 good Superman episodes. It's harder to put them in a different way. Well, we're going to go to the future and do mail without Joe because we don't have the mail. We're several weeks ahead at this point. We're so far in the future.
Whoops.
Or in the past, or whatever you want to call it.
Samurai Jack.
And then we come back and we tell Brian the name of the next episode.
Wait, can we, Joe, I would love to request you give us a sound to go to the future and then a sound coming back from the future.
Ooh, can I think for a second?
Oh, yeah. Take all the time you need.
Oh, I mean, yes.
Don't listen to James.
All right. I got the going to the future one.
Okay.
Are we ready?
Hit us with it. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Did you enjoy camping this weekend?
I enjoyed camping this weekend. Did you?
Doesn't sound sincere. I didn't camp this weekend, so I couldn't.
Oh, see, that's...
you got me.
You know what I did enjoy?
What?
Missing the worst of the heat wave that Big Bus threw at us this week.
Mm-hmm. I heard from a tip to Prekit that it was like 88 or like some ridiculously high number.
It's like 88 now, and this is the coolest it's been in a few days.
Well, and also people are laughing that live in like Arizona listening or something, and they're like, that's every day, bro.
That's Arizona. Arizona, where they tell you in a news report to carry around a like oven mitt or handkerchief to open metal door handles so you don't burn your hand.
That's cool.
I saw that on a news report, and I just like, that was like years ago. And I realized that, like,
to ask how boomer of a comment that is. Like, how long ago did you see this, and is it still applicable?
I mean, it was,
the Earth's only getting hotter, so
yeah. That's it was like one of those that like Arizona didn't get below like 100 or 110 for like 2 months or something like that, you know? And that's just like, wow, that's the hellscape. That's where we're at. Eugene's not that bad.
Helldivers. We had a brass teacher in drum corps from Arizona. I don't remember how or why she was brought to Oregon for teaching us, but she was very, very good at euphonium. She was constantly in like.
Would you say she's a euphonium star?
I think so. Yeah, I would say that actually, just completely out of context. But she was from Arizona. She was always just wearing like 6 sweatshirts. Like she was so cold, even on like the hottest day here. She's like, "Oh my god! Like I don't know how you guys are like shirtless and in shorts and all this stuff." I'm like,
yeah,
because we're also sprinting around and you're just standing there. But and also I understand.
But also, you're just from there.
Yeah. Well, if you Arizonians would like to reach out to us. Like the fire hand, like the oven mitt at the end of World's Finest Part 3. You remember the famous scene where the Joker is taking cookies out of the oven.
I love that scene. That's maybe my favorite scene in all of DCAU.
It would actually be very Joker of him to like have cookies like on a sheet just sitting inside that Lex plane as it explodes. Like he's just laughing about how funny it is that the cookies are like baked to perfection as he's also being baked to perfection. If you'd like to do whatever I just said, you can send a 60-second voice message or a short-ass email to batwagonpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on today's episode on the Pod Tower YouTube channel or Spotify, but please don't spoil anything past this episode for Brian. We don't like it when you do that. Oh my God, the video has 420 views right now.
Oh.
It's just a cool number that I like.
Wow.
This is comments.
Wait, how many likes are on it? Is there like 69 likes?
Damn it, it's 33.
Oh, God damn it.
But if you multiply that by
2
points
and add
something. Last episode, Ascension, or he's going Super Cyan from Batman Beyond. Also, the joke was because you thought it was pronounced Cyan, and then I was like, you idiot, it's Cyan. Yeah. Apparently it is Cyan. And Americans in the dub have been saying it wrong for forever.
Wait a minute.
You knew
so you're
somehow.
Saying I'm the smart one here?
You were the smart one, yeah. You get a win. It's okay.
Oh, this feels good. I want to bathe in this feeling. Hold on.
From now on, if it ever comes up, we have to say Super Saiyan.
Amazing.
We sound like pricks doing it, but we'll do it.
So wait, what? I already don't remember. What's the incorrect American pronunciation of it?
Saiyan.
Saiyan.
Yeah.
Saying like what you saying?
Yeah, what you saying over there?
You know what I'm saying? Y'all are
Vegeta.
wrong. I'm the smart one here.
Hey, I'm Piccolo here, you says. I'm a Piccolo here.
Hey guys, I'm starting a new podcast called All About the Piccolos. And
all about that treble.
All about the Piccolos, and it's going to be hosted by me, and James is going to be wrong. The end.
And we're going to have technicians from Arizona teaching us Piccolo. This is from Tip Tapricot. Throws a kiss to the sky for the ham predator. James and Brian, did either of you catch the new animated movie, Predator Killer of Killers? I'm not into the Predator franchise, but it looks sick. No,
Joe
I didn't know
told
it was
us about
out
it?
yet.
Right?
Someone told us about it. Yeah, it looks cool. It's the same director as Prey. I don't know if you saw Prey. It was like a long time ago Predator movie. It was good. It was probably the first.
I haven't seen anything. I've never seen a movie before.
You never seen a single movie in your life?
No.
This is from Matt Poole 2112. I just wanted to. Is this a new one? I've lost track of how many people.
Matt Poole, like Deadpool?
Now. Like Deadpool. He says, I just wanted to say hi to myself when I get to this episode because I just started listening to the podcast and I'm right now on Almost Got Him. I work at the movie theater, and it gets at a movie theater. It gets really boring. So thanks, Brick and Jamie, for making cleaning theaters a lot better.
Yeah,
Yoppie dudes rule. Thanks, Matt. Cool.
Where are you writing this from? What movie theater? I want to know.
What exact
Don't dox yourself, but like...
No, tell us and we won't read it on the podcast. You could just send a secret email to batwagonpod. The astral beast cometh. Would you rather inherit an empire or take up a mantle? This is a more like esoteric question.
Take up a mantle?
Yeah, like be Batman, I guess, is kind of what he means. Like,
oh man, I was just like, I don't know, like I don't like deconstruction is like kind of fun, but like mantles are usually made out of stone. I don't really want to like take down any stonework.
I was just going to say
like
maybe he's talking about the one above a fireplace or something. Yeah, we were making the same joke.
Yeah, we're funny.
I guess I'll inherit an empire.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Case, yeah.
I can't see that going wrong.
No, I don't think so. Banana Man says okay.
Okay.
That's nice. Thank you,
that
Banana
nice.
Man. Always here for us. Lanola Cola. I bought July Talk's self-titled album last year is the answer to the question we asked.
That is the right one to buy, too.
This is from Ellen Ripberger, who I think has written in a couple times, but not very often. Hey, Yoppie dudes. Since James prefers really short emails, I'll get right to the point. Thank you. You both mentioned how TAS has quite a few team-ups in Season 3, which reminds me of a Twitter questionnaire. What character's guest appearance from TAS would you choose for a spin-off show? I would like to know what yours and the listeners. For me, I like the idea of a Lobo series, except for the fact that I'm reminded of a DVD commentary where Bruce Timm mentions how in a later episode, if they'd used the character more, they would have had to tone him down. And tone him down from what? I guess they've already done that. He's like ripping people's arms off and stuff in the comics, which I feel would just ruin the character if he had his own series. So instead, I'll go with Dr. Fate. I think that would help round out the DCAU with Batman and being very grounded, while Superman and Batman Beyond being very sci-fi. I would think Dr. Fate wouldn't necessarily be grounded. There's a lot of space and magic shit.
There's a lot of space and magic shit, yeah.
Space and magic. I think having a series based on the world of magic would be an interesting dynamic, especially considering other episodes that Dr. Fate appears in. Second question, with all these heroes teaming up, which villains do you think would make a good team up? I think Joker and Toyman, considering they both use toys in their gimmicks.
Okay,
oh boy.
Like, first question, I just want more Batman and Superman, because there's like the rivalry
Superman
is fun.
Interesting.
It makes Superman more interesting, and I want to not hate Superman. Not that I hate Superman, but
I would just say he's been most interesting when he's had like anybody to bounce off of. Even if there's an episode where he's like hanging out with Lois Lane, it's better than when he's just floating around by himself. Or punching a guy the whole episode.
But wait, what was the second?
Spin-off show was the first. I mean, I guess, Superman and Batman together show or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Super holding hands men.
Yeah,
kissing men.
Killing children, whatever the two of them do.
KMTAS. Kimtas.
Kissing Men, the animated series? Is that what you meant? Yeah, okay. And then with villain team-ups, that would be cool. Of the ones we've had so far.
No. We've already said it. Well, we've said half of it. I want Joker and Lobo.
Okay. You don't think Lobo would just like murder Joker immediately or something?
No, I think they would they'd like get into like a whiskey drinking competition or something, and like Joker would earn his respect, and then they would just like be the weirdest team up ever, and I think that'd be so fucking fun.
You think Joker could respect anybody?
I think he would do his Jokery thing, but I think because of Lobo's power, there would only be so much, and it would just be this like kind of angry rivalry, but they just keep working together for some reason.
I think they'd have a mutual respect for how both of them are like modeled after types of professions that apply makeup, and yet they both just look like that. I think that could work out pretty okay.
It would be like Joker, they'd like be in some like green room or something, like they end up at like some behind the scenes whatever, and like Joker's just like looking in the mirror lamenting and being like, oh, and they always think it's just makeup that I've applied. And Lobo says like, you don't know the half of it, and they just have this weird bonding moment, you know? And
they start playing Kiss music.
Yeah.
Joker on drums, I think. Oh, yeah, sax would be good. He can do the lick. Keen Machine, Demon Reborn. Greetings. Here are some thoughts on this week's episode. Excited for another
Keen.
Joe appearance on the pod.
Greetings, James, Brian, and Joe. The word I would use to describe this episode is clunky with a K. While the bare bones of a good plot are here, the story just never really fully comes together. I mean, the shaman staff's abilities aren't ever explained, including how did that fit into Talia's pocket? The animation is lackluster, and Talia's new voice is very distracting to me. I don't know why, it just really is. I've only seen this episode once before, and I remember the first time watching it, I felt so disappointed in what I was hoping to be another exciting Batman-Superman crossover. Although I will say I like Talia's design, because of course I do, and I like the idea of Ra's seeking to steal Superman's vitality as the Lazarus Pits fail to sustain him. Anyway, just wanted to pop in and say, keep it keen.
Virality.
Thanks for popping in. And I also love that it was just... because we mentioned some recording at some point in time how like ahead we are, and so these things are going to be very like background noise before too long. Super happy that I will never forget the
staff in her clothes.
I was going to say open coat, remove staff. I think I was trying to say it backwards in my head, but God, that's such a special moment.
I'm trying to find who it was. It was Lock D. I'll just read it. Did anyone else notice that Talia pulled that whole 3-foot long magic stick out of Lois's blouse? She must have been standing completely rigid to keep it from breaking while hanging from the clock hand. What if Superman bumped into it while carrying her to safety and it broke? There goes the whole plan. 0 out of 10 bad magic stick physics. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
It perfectly, yeah.
It's like Superman's like fireman carrying her or whatever out of the off of the clock, and it's like she's not just she's just I should have thought about this. Fuck yeah.
She's playing light as a feather, stiff as a board, but in the worst way possible.
Yeah. LexCorp Pride, like, oh no.
Oh.
LexCorp cares. Happy Pride from LexCorp. We're here with a joyous message of pride sent from a new Rainbow Lex phone. There's a small upcharge for the rainbow ones.
It's Pride again at LexCorp. While most major corporations have chickened out of supporting the queer community, we here at LexCorp are doubling down. All month long, we're supporting the LGBTQIA+ community by unleashing a rainbow of kryptonite colors at the Man of Steel. Any attempt to stop this would be pretty homophobic, so we advise that you support the queer community, like LexCorp, by not interfering with our plans. This month, when we finally kill Superman, the L in LexCorp will stand for lesbians. So happy Pride, LGBTQIA Plusers. Get out there and slay the Man of Steel this June with us.
That has nothing to do with the episode, but it's very good.
Lesbian Corp. I love that.
They'd be really homophobic if you just stop that.
That's just perfect.
We have to have like 6 layers of irony with the LexCorp Cares messages. Like, it's make sure it's understood that we're only laughing because we know he's such a piece of shit for saying these things. Eric Lobo, Demon Reborn, or Ubu returns, The Reckoning. Some things are just meant to stay a mystery, I suppose.
So, sorry about missing last week. Everybody's favorite roommate dragged me out to God knows where to follow some treasure map he found in a carton of Cracker Jacks. Are we there yet? At least I could watch this week's episode on the flight. So, Demon Reborn. This is definitely the least remembered crossover between Batman and Superman, the few we've seen in the DCAU thus far. I genuinely didn't even know this existed until I watched it. It's fine outside of the 6-foot magic staff that fits inside your jacket, casual racism from Lois, and Superman not being more powerful than a locomotive. It still suffers the same fate as a lot of Superman crossovers, where Superman gets jobbed the majority of the story. I think it's done a little bit better here, but it's really nothing to write home about. Okay, Croc, there better be something crazy behind this boulder. Holy, Croc, do you know what this is? This is the recipe for Poison Ivy's delicious green cookies. Oh, this is It crumbled to dust. How can I keep calming Yoppie on after this? Why?
I'm so sorry he tortures you so.
Yeah, it's not fair. You don't deserve that.
I did not even think about that at all with the more powerful than a locomotive, and then he's just having a real fucking hard time stopping the train.
Wow, yeah.
He needs Batman's car to swerve in front of it.
I guess he's more powerful than a locomotive, but like not by much, apparently.
Slightly less powerful or equal powerful to a locomotive that's going at a normal speed, maybe. Let's be more specific.
More powerful than a locomotive, but like only enough power to light up an LED flashlight for about 3 minutes, and then the power's out. So that much more powerful than a locomotive.
Can power a dreidel with his body. This is from Ryan Hipp. who also included a little bit of trivs from the Superman the Animated Series soundtrack. The takeaway was that this was the only time that Batman-Superman combo theme appears in a episode, which I think we at least talked about a little bit, but I don't know if that was stated specifically. That Shirley Walker wrote a completely new intro theme, and then it never got used in the show. Oh, it says this theme was not as a rule used in the series _, with the exception of a brief appearance in the Demon Reborn. Here's Ryan's voice message.
So, do you
Everyone's walking
think
around.
that the tips of Batman's cowl got like that in this episode because he was taking a lot of Viagra? It's everybody's favorite.
Yes.
Lois Lane's kind of a racist. And I'm back just in time for Pride to talk about this episode where a couple of guys wear their skin-tight costumes and handle another man's staff. And I guess, since you two keep evading this line of thought, we've got yet another. Something happens with Batman's cape. The roided out Raish, I think that's this episode. It's been a year. Pulls on it to stop him from doing something. Why do we think they started doing that in the Kids WB episodes all of a sudden? Do they feel like they had to knock Batman down a few pegs? The end.
I don't know. I don't know what you mean exactly, because I'm stupid.
Pulling on tugging on a cape?
Tug on the super cape?
I don't know. Ryan, we are too stupid. Please.
Batman's ears were compensating for whatever you're referring to. Kyle, Demon Reborn, penultimate message here. Love me some Raz Al Ghul.
Brian James, I love the Demon Reborn. And I know it definitely has its problems, but for one thing, Ra's al Ghul's one of my favorite villains from Batman the Animated Series, so finally getting to see him in some version in the redesign is something I really like. And as I said in Nighttime, I love one-off adventures with characters who share the same universe, and the Demon Reborn really does feel like that. Also, laughed out loud, because I'm sure I thought of it the first time I saw it. I love the army of assassins just look like a bunch of Spider-Man noirs. That always makes me laugh. Superman having a weakness to magic is something I really like from the comics. There are things that can hurt him, just not bad writing. That seems to be the ultimate problem with a lot of Superman stories. I think this episode's a lot of fun, and it's cool to see Batman and Superman's relationship develop, and to see where it could go in the future is certainly exciting. I hope Brian liked it, but I really don't think he did.
It's always a good guess, I suppose.
Yeah.
Anyway, last first is Mark Aquino. The Demon Reborn or Ubu's got the Balderarchy locked down this week. I think we did give it to Ubu.
Yeah, right?
Or Hi Alfred, Bye Alfred. Or Indigenous Blue Raspberry Zappy Zappies. So Lois Lane's a racist. Don't need to go further than that, do we? Lately, we've been swaying it up, and in the future with Terry, that it's a pleasant surprise to see OG Brucey back in the cowl. Not only that, but we got the return of Raishberry Beret. Decent episode. The kind you find in a crate on a train. He says. Decent episode. Good music. The animation kind of goes south halfway through, though. Boss Biggest Bear Hugs, the #1 podcast host in this year, Multiverse of Powers. Jump, damn it, jump! And Boogieville. Praise to our Lord and Savior, Dylan Pollock. Keep up the great work on your own podcast that I need to listen to more. And remember to tell Gab that she rules. I think we said in this episode that Dylan and Gab should do a Jaws episode with me so I can watch Jaws finally. I almost bought Jaws on 4K the other day just for the sake of, because the only version that's ever been lent to me to watch was a 4x3 like pan and scan DVD, and I was like, I'm not going to watch Jaws this way.
You're like, you need it to be in the OG.
Yeah, I need to see it as crisply as possible. I need to see it just like they saw it in 1970 something on 4K TV. Likewise, of course, to all his loyal disciples, all the names, all the Awesome Sauce listeners of this Yoppie community of ours, you're all the absolute best. Don't you ever forget that. Till next week, big ol' whoosh. Just flew away, baby.
Bye.
We didn't even have like a post. What does PS stand for? Postscript? That's okay though. If you don't got shit to say about this episode, don't say it. Okay? Don't say what you can't say is my motto.
You know what James always says, everyone? Don't say what you can't say.
He doesn't say shit.
Like Worcestershire sauce.
Yeah, Worcestershire.
Worcestershire sauce.
What is it really? It's not actually that hard.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. All right. I don't like this one as much. Somehow, I thought it could get better.
Too on the spot.
Thank you, Joe.
Episode 169, everybody. I like the way that it cuts out a lot of the sound because it's like breathing level noise. So you're just getting the pops out of it.
How do you do that, man?
Joe has suctiony hands.
Push your palms together and then try to pull them apart by creating a vacuum.
No, I can't do it.
So
oh, I got it for a second.
Oh, I got one.
Just everyone toot motherfucker.
I'm just getting puffy air.
Yeah, well, you're a superhero. Whatever.
Oh.
Okay, listener, join in.
Push your palms together harder.
All right, we're done with this.
The people that specialize in this are called manualists.
Oh,
what?
These are the people that make the sounds in the Weird Al songs.
Oh my god,
that's how it's done. You have to get the going back together is the hard one.
I don't.
Please keep going.
There's good videos online. I'll have to send you a link. Like people doing songs, like different pitches and
Joe
everything.
has the world record for it. No. Fart hands in a row. It's 400 and whatever you said.
There's a guy on YouTube. They're very old, like first YouTube on video quality videos. And he just has like a microphone, like a lapel mic, and he does it like to songs, and you can hear the pitches and everything.
Oh yeah, I've seen this.
And he is just like looking like a boss the entire time. Yeah, and does like Bohemian Rhapsody and stuff.
Is this how they did in the South Park movie? Is this how they did the fart solo in the song Uncle Fucker?
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah. It does sound really similar. Anyway, we have 2 Superman episodes left.
Jimmy, we're not talking about DCAU anymore.
Well, the next episode, it's Batman Beyond again.
Yay.
Joe, tell him the name of the episode.
Splicers.
What is it?
It's a documentary about people who used to cut film back together when it was in like the super analog. No,
you're thinking of Sliders, the show from the Sci-Fi Channel.
That is what I'm thinking.
It's actually
of.
Joe's closer with what the episode is.
I'm gonna guess some kind of Frankenstein something or other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Okay.
It has elements that you will think are cool and elements you'll be mad at. I don't know how else to say that.
Hooray! It sounds like
every
my
other
life.
Episode. Yeah, everything I've ever experienced.
Oh, this capitalism is pretty cool. Hope it never fucks me.
Well, I like getting money. What do you mean I have to give it to you?
I like stealing Bruce Wayne's money.
Yeah, if you stole Bruce Wayne's money, how much would you be taxed?
Well, you'd be like a multi-billionaire all of a sudden. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, and then you'd be beyond the tax bracket.
Mm.
Oh, this is great.
Do you have to report it? Yeah.
Win-win. You don't have to do anything.
Well,
you just
do you report?
Win.
Do you normally report things that you steal, James?
No, good point. That's the show, everybody. Please give us a follow or subscribe wherever you may be listening to this, and please leave us a 5-star review on your podcatcher of choice. You'll
leave us
damn
a
well hear it read on the show.
69-star review.
69 stars. You hit the 5 stars 120 times, and then one more time. The host can't do basic math. It's fine. Thank you to everyone listening.
Leave one 69-star review.
Yeah,
for episode 169.
Okay. Thank you to everyone. This the phrase "the host can't do basic math" comes from our recent where I hosted Disney trivia, and it was how many eggs can Gaston eat when eats every morning when he gets large, and it was 5 dozen, but people were writing like whatever 5 dozen actually is the number, and I could not in my head do it quick enough to
60?
confirm the answer.
Wait a minute.
5 times 12. I don't know. Joe's nodding that it's 60.
Is it 60?
And then I was like, I don't know, and looking at Jessica or Joe or somebody like help. And then when they on the feedback, Shelley had written the host can't do basic math as the feedback. Yep. So I can't do it here either. Thank you to everyone listening in the description for their musical themes and help in making this podcast as yappy as it can be. Go check out their stuff. And thank you, of course, to you, the listener, for listening. And thank you, Joe, for being here again for like the 7th time or something.
Do it more.
Yeah.
Joe, where can everybody find
Mr.
you?
Mr. Spit like to show up more.
You can find me on an ambulance.
Yeah, that's what we said last time. I don't think
Just have a catastrophic injury and Joe will be there.
Yeah. Make at joescott.com.
My number is 911.
No guarantee, listener, that Joe specifically will show up.
You can try.
Fact, most likely not. Yeah.
You can try to find out that is me if you make like a, hey, did Ubu resuscitate Ra's al Ghul correctly? And I'll be like, oh shit, you listen?
As you yourself are dying. Yeah. You're not helping this person. You're wait, do you listen to Jump on the Bat-Wagon? Shit. Wait, do you listen to Jump on the Bat-Wagon? Shit.
Wait, I'm having chest pain. Quick, get the staff of arthritis.
It'll fix all your problems.
Just get some Baja Blast. They'll be fine. I saw this in a
someone
cartoon
tells me
once.
to get the staff of arthritis, I will reach under my vest and pull out like my pen or something.
The full staff.
Yeah,
the full.
Just a full. You better start carrying a full staff.
Joe
under your
will
shirt.
pull out his staff if you tell him you watch Jump on the Bat-Wagon.
Yeah.
Episode 169, baby. Okay, see you next week for Splicers, Brian specifically, and not Joe.
Oh,
I mean, you'll probably see me next week at some point.
That's also true, yeah.
True.
But the listener won't. Dylan Pollock will not see Joe next week.
Unless he calls 911.
Yeah, and lives here.
Yeah, somewhere around here.
Bye, listener. Thanks
Bye.
for tuning in.
Bye.
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 I love you.
Catsup?
I see an underground river, but there's no sign of them, alive or dead. I'm guessing you and that woman Talia had some history.
Pretty much in line with all my other relationships. I have to admit it was clever using Raish's devotion to his daughter to stop him.
Well, I thought as long as I couldn't charge in with both arms swinging, I better use my head. You know, there might be something to this partnership business after all.
Yeah, right.
Jump on the Bat-Wagon is hosted and edited by yours truly, James Strecker, and co-hosted by yours Briley, Brian Maneely. This podcast is brought to you by the Watchtower Database, your one-stop shop for all things DC Animated Universe. To send us a Yoppie beverage, nab some sick show merch, or support us on Patreon, you can visit the links in today's show notes. And thank you very much. Please leave us a 5-star review on your app of choice and follow us wherever you listen to never miss a new show. And we'll see you next episode, same PP time, same poo-poo channel.